Hi, my name is Pete. I've bought a house in the country. It's called Ivy Cottage. It's down in West Cork, in a beautiful part of the country. I've decided to buy this house because I want a forever home in the countryside. I've built a house, I've renovated a house, and now I've decided that I want to have a forever home, somewhere to settle down and do the things that I love to do. I've built a house before by direct labour, but that was mainly builders doing the work, not so much as me. I was falling in there doing the bits that I could, and I did do some of the work myself, and that was interesting. My next step was to actually buy a house in the town of Middleton, and I renovated that quite nicely. I did a lovely job of it, and it was a great house. But now I've decided that the country life is for me, and this is the biggest renovation project I've ever taken on. I'm also tight on budget. I don't have a huge amount of money to spend on this build, and I can go into that later on in another video. So I have to be careful with how I spend money. I don't have the finances to take on a builder to do this job for me, so I'm going to be doing most of the work myself. So welcome to Ivy Cottage. This is our first time being here and our first day on site. It's a traditional 2-up 2-down cottage, and we've decided that we're going to make a YouTube video to show you all how to renovate one of these properties, or how not to do it. But what we found is there's no video like this on YouTube, so we decided it would be nice to show you how to renovate one of these. There's 7,265 of these cottages around Cork, with 2 rooms downstairs and 2 rooms upstairs. They were built by the council nearly 100 years ago, and what we want to do is try and renovate it as sympathetically as possible, but bringing modern building practices and energy efficiency into the house. So we hope you'll enjoy the series of videos that we're going to do over the coming weeks and months. This is a plan that I made up prior to actually buying Ivy Cottage. During the stages of thinking about buying it and actually going ahead and putting an offer on it, I wanted to make sure that the house would work for me. So I did up this plan from what I could see on the internet. And right here we've got the porch at the front of the house, and to the side this a utility room as it did exist, and there's a side door in there. What I'd decided to do was I was going to make this into a utility room and seal up the side door that was there, put in French doors on the far side of the building, and what I was going to do where the kitchen was, I was going to put in a bathroom and a hot press, a boot room, and then make the kitchen on the far side of the house where the sitting room is at the moment. But since we've gone and purchased Ivy Cottage, we found out that both this extension here and the front extension have no planning permission, so we have to take those down. It shows the importance of doing a survey, even on an old house. If you think you have to strip it back to the 4 walls and you're thinking there's no point in doing a survey, there's still a good purpose to doing a survey, especially when you find things in planning coming up. So as I said, this extension to the side of Ivy Cottage has got no planning, and this porch at the front of Ivy Cottage has got no planning, so we're going to have to take those down, and it's not my intention to replace them. So I've since decided that the kitchen is actually going to be quite big, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the washing machine and tumble dryer in the left hand side of the kitchen. But there's plenty of room there, so there's not much need to have a separate utility room. So that's become obsolete, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a side door in just here into the side of the house. I'll have a front door coming in just here into the front of the house, and I'll have French doors leading into the kitchen on the other side of the house, allowing a lot of light into the kitchen area. And overall then you'll have a good design. There's a bedroom downstairs here to the right of the front door, to the right of the front hallway should I say. There's a sitting room. From the sitting room it leads upstairs up to the upper floor, and on the upper floor, if I just turn this over, we've got 2 bedrooms, the larger one on the left hand side and the smaller one on the right hand side. So that's the plan for Ivy Cottage. It will change slightly as we go along, but that's the general concept of it, and that's the concept we're going to stick to. But obviously there'll be small alterations in that this plan was drawn up from what I could see on the internet, and the measurements weren't accurate at the time. So this is the side entrance into the house. Unfortunately, this part of the building doesn't have planning permission, so we're going to have to tear it down, and I don't have any intention of replacing it. I'm going to put a side door on the side of the house instead. So all this has got to go, but here it is for the moment. Moving in, we've got the kitchen as it's laid out. It's my intention to completely take this out, and I'm actually going to put the bathroom in this section here and the hallway to the side of it. Then we have a hallway running through here and into the bathroom. The bathroom is here to the right hand side. We're going to take this out completely. It's my intention to move the bathroom over to the left hand side of the house, and I'm going to make a heating room with hot press and hot water cylinder and all the underfloor heating controls in a room here. And then I'm going to take half the bathroom space here and incorporate it with the room next door here, which is currently laid out as a sitting room, and I'm going to make this the kitchen. And I'm going to take this window out here. I'm going to put in French doors with glass out the side to allow lots of light into the kitchen. I'll have a kitchen table there, a utility area to the side of the kitchen, and all my appliances are on the other side of the kitchen, making a fine bright room facing east. This is the sitting room. It's quite small in space, so I'm going to have to think cleverly as to how to lay out furniture when it's time. There's a lot of work to do here. The floors obviously all have to come out, they're uneven and not anyway level, and the whole chimney breast I have to take down. It's old and it needs to be relined anyway, but it's actually taking a lot of space from the stairs. I want to widen the stairs, so taking down the chimney breast is the simple answer to getting more space, having a clean, well-serviced flue, and allowing for a bit more of a functional layout in the house, in the sitting room, stairwell, and in the front hallway. This is the front hallway, where the front door should be. There's no front door because they put on a porch on the front. Yet again, the porch has no planning permission, so we have to take that down as well. I don't want to put it back up again because it takes from the vista of the front of the house, and I just think if I take it down and put a little porch over the front door, it would look a lot more in keeping with what the house originally was. So I'm going to reinstate a nice front door here, perhaps with a roof light overhead, and then also by moving the chimney breast I'm hoping to increase the space here in the hallway. This is the one of the 3 bedrooms. It's quite spacious for a small little house like this. So yet again, the chimney breast is going to come out, and I'm going to remove this fireplace here. It's going to allow me to have an extra bit of space underneath the stairs, and it will widen the stairs also, and it'll be a nice bright bedroom by the time I remove some of the vegetation outside, replace the windows, and again it'll be all underfloor heating, insulated and slabbed, and left in good condition. This is not a cupboard, this is the stairs. So the stairs is quite narrow, and I want to try and widen it a bit. For the moment it's cute and quaint, but my problem with it is in time, and as you get older, perhaps I'll need a bit more space for getting up the stairs as my body becomes less able, and I just think this is just a little bit too tight. It wouldn't meet current building regulations, and I'm thinking just by taking down that chimney breast, which is substantial in size and width, I'd be able to increase the width of the stairs, making it more attractive and less dark and oppressive. So if you follow me up the stairs. This is the main bedroom. It's a nice size, quite tidy, lovely up in the attic. It's when it's renovated, it's going to be light and bright, and with such a large window, which is unusual for these 2 up 2 down houses. Normally they have a more narrow window, but I've got a nice big one. When I replace that with a nice PVC window, this bedroom is going to be light and airy and spacious, and also has a cosy feeling with that, with a cottage style roof. So this is the last bedroom. We're going to have 3 bedrooms in this house, and I'm going to keep it that way. This is quite a small bedroom. Like you can see, we actually have no glass in the window, just a bit of paper to keep the air from and the elements from coming in. But yet again, we'll be taking out this window, completely stripping it down. The roof is coming off, the floors are coming out, the downstairs floors are coming out. We're going to be left with 4 walls, and from there we're going to renovate the house, re-roof, re-floor, new floors downstairs, underfloor heating, new electrics, plumbing, and then obviously slabbing and dry lining, plastering, painting, finishing, furnishing, carpets, so on, and the house will be complete and cosy. Hopefully sometime this time next year, if things go well. This is one of the first projects we've taken on, is to just clean out the garage. It was full of animal waste and wasn't in good condition, so we've cleaned it out, shoveled it out, taken all the rubble out, which is over here on my right hand side, and we're making it, we put a new roof on it to make it watertight, and it'll just be a nice little base and office for us to start renovating from. So here we're building a door for the garage, just so we have somewhere to keep a bit of stuff, store stuff and keep it dry. We've put in a door frame in around it, it's anchored into the wall, that's not going anywhere. I'm just constructing a quick door just to keep things going. So what I've got is just a basic door frame. I've mitered at the edge, there's a couple of joints keeping it all together, and it's glued. I'm just going to insert these planks in there. It'll be fine, heavy solid door when it's all finished. So I just have to fill in the rest of the pieces here, which I've cut and nailed it all together. And put a couple of hinges on, in a lock, and it's good to go. Here we have some shelves that I've constructed in our new shed. The reason for constructing these is we're going to be taking the roof off the house and the windows and the doors, and we have nowhere to securely store materials, so we've decided the best thing to do is put some shelves in here for that period while we have the roof off. They're just constructed fairly crudely, just out of some spare timber I have, but they're nice and strong and they're going nowhere. We can store whatever we want on them until it's time to get the roof back on and the windows and doors back in. At that stage, once we have the roof on and the windows and doors back in, it makes the house secure again, and we can start bringing materials like dry lining and whatever else we need to install back into the house, ready for the next stage of construction. So that's our garage. It's a bit crude, it's not exactly top quality workmanship, and my felting leaves a lot to be desired on the roof, but as I said, it does the job, it serves a purpose, and in the end this building will in fact be torn down. I intend to build a new garage there in the end, but for the moment it will serve the purpose. Up here now on the upstairs in one of the bedrooms, and what we're going to start doing is to strip off this tongue and groove timber off the ceiling so we can see what's behind it. There's more than likely a purlin running across the top of the roof here, and we want to see what the rafters are doing and how the roof is made up before we go up and strip off the slates, at least if we can see from this side that it's safe to do so. There's nothing there, so So we've just exposed this section of the roof, and you can see the rafters here. They're quite weathered and quite old looking, but it's quite possible that these are the originals. In fact, even judging by the nails, they're fairly rusted through and aged looking. These are probably the original roof timbers. And unfortunately in this roof we've got a bow in the top of the roof, so I'm afraid all this will have to go. But it does just let us know that we can put set ladders up on top of this safely and remove the slates from the roof without having causing ourselves an accident. So now we've stripped off most of the ceiling all the way across, and what we found is actually the original wall plate just here. It's the original wall plate running across here, and that's what the whole roof sits on. And also we found that the ridge beam there isn't actually supported at this end properly at all, which might explain some of the sagging, and it's quite thin as well. So it's good to see. It's good to see that it's see how it's constructed, and also having the wall plate on the inside here just helps us because we have a nice level surface for putting a new one on when we start. We found a lot of the plaster is starting to flake off as well, so we'd have to look into that. If it's unstable, we may as well take it off now instead of it falling down behind dry lining later on. But that's as far as we've got now, so a little bit dusty in here still, but we've made some good progress. So we've reached now the end of another day here at Ivy Cottage, and we've made good progress. We've taken down the ceilings up in here and some of the partition walls. We've exposed all the ceiling elements so we can see what we're dealing with, and we've decided at this stage we're not going to strip back anymore until we get up onto the roof and strip off all the tiles. So that's it for up here for the moment. We'll come back at a later stage and update you with what we're up to. So in all our haste to get on with things and get started here at Ivy Cottage, we actually forgot to take down the for sale sign. So that's something we're going to do now in a few minutes. We're very glad that you're tuning into our channel. We very much appreciate it. Without you tuning in, there's no point in doing the video in the first place and the videos each week that we're going to do. But we really appreciate you tuning in. We hope you enjoy what we put up. By no means we're professionals, but we do our very best. I've got professionals that I can consult when I'm a little bit stuck, and if I feel that I do need even more further support through engineers, that's what I'll do. I'll contact one if necessary. We've always regard for health and safety in that we've disconnected the electricity before we started doing work here, and we've disconnected the water supply as well. So just things to bear in mind when you're going forward. If you are doing a project like this, always keep safety in mind.